So you like to slam? Well, do I have the build for you? What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be going over a build that I made a while back that all of you seem to love. This is the level 57 updated build, and the last time I made this was at level 50, which is crazy. It seems like such a long time ago now at this point, and I figured it definitely needed to be updated. Now with the release of Mayhem 2.0 coming tomorrow, this build is going to help you progress through that and help you reacquire all the gear for this build later on. Now speaking of Mayhem 2.0 really quick, you can definitely expect to see a ton of videos going over all the new legendaries in the game, reviewing how Mayhem 2.0 is, and especially updating all the previous builds that I've made and making new ones. Hopefully we'll be getting new class mods and other forms of gear that's going to switch things up a little bit, and Mayhem 10 is obviously going to change the way we play. But with all that being said, let's get right back into the build. So this is a Phaseslam focused build. You're using Phaseslam to get all your defensive skills proc and all your offensive skills. This build is heavily focused on survivability and damage output, and it is actually insane. Now as always, my builds are in my Discord channel. If you would like to download them, they're located under the saves file tab. Link will be in the description. So if you download the build, enjoy the video. I found it helpful. Anyway, remember, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and I truly appreciate it. But with all that being said, let's get right into the build. Alright, so getting into the gear, we're going to be starting off with the Unforgiven right here. Now this might seem like a weird choice, and no, we're not using this to crit swap. We're actually using this to do the damage. So we have a Phaseslam to give 300% more weapon damage on top of the already just insane damage that the Unforgiven can do. Now those two compared basically let you one-shot any enemy in the game for the most part, other than bosses. So this is your mobbing weapon, and you can get up to like 2 million damage numbers every time you shoot an enemy, and it's actually disgusting. This paired with some of your stills, it is just gross. Now our next weapon we have is a Hellwalker, the Phaseslam. This is just a fun gun. I've always liked the Hellwalker. If you want to use something else, you can. This is a very forgiving build. You can just use pretty much whatever guns you want to use. I just have some of the guns I like to use with the build equipped as of right now. Now next we have a Hyper Focus XD41 with the Phaseslam. This is going to be your DPS weapon. This is very good for bossing. It's also good for ad clear too, but it's going to be your main bossing weapon. It's just going to shred through enemies very quickly, and it's really nothing much else to say about it. Then next I have a Cutsman right here, the good old Cutsman. I feel like I haven't used this in a build in forever. So they have a Phaseslam for 300% weapon damage. Now the Phaseslam, as you see, is a trend. All the weapons we have in this build are Phaseslam. So this is essentially going to be very good for taking out shields, and the Cutsman also is just very good for damaging people. So this alone, even since it's shot, can damage other things. It's a very, very, very good SMG. Next we have a Transformer shield right here with an accidentally with 50% bonus cryo damage. I just have this equipped. You can use whatever ASC anoint you want, because you see we have all four right here. It's whatever you're getting into. Same as the It's Piss grenade. I have a corrosive one right here, but I have 4 other grenades as well with all the ASC anoints on them. I personally just like to use the It's Piss because I like being able to throw and apply debuff, which actually pairs really well with Unforgiven, because if you don't have a Phaseslam, you can actually just throw your It's Piss grenade and then crit with the Unforgiven, and you're doing an insane amount of damage. Now obviously it's not as much as the 300% damage, but it is something, and it helps out with one-shot enemies if your Phaseslam's on cooldown, which hopefully it shouldn't be with this build. We're going to hopefully be achieving that with the Phaseslam. Now this is giving us very good stats. So you have 21% weapon critical damage, 51% Jacob's critical hit damage, and then 22% radiation resistance. The radiation resistance, whatever, but the other two are obviously very good for things like the Unforgiven, right? Or even the Hellwalker. It's really good too, because the amount of crit damage you get is already insane. And if you don't know what the Phaseslam does, essentially when you pop any action skill, you get max rush stacks, and each rush stack is going to be 3% weapon damage and 10% cooldown rate. So you, with this, essentially you can pop your Phaseslam, which is going to be rocking your anoint on the Unforgiven. You have both critical hit damage perks on your class mod to also be buffing the Unforgiven, which already has a plus 284% critical hit damage stat, and it already is doing 2,000 damage per shot. And with all this combined on top of the Phaseslam damage you're getting, you absolutely just hit insane damage numbers with one shot. Then next we have a Snowdrift Auto Idol. This is going to let you slide around the map. It's very good for survivability. You're already pretty tanky with this build as it is, but this is going to help out on top of that. And the Auto Idol is restoring 20% of your max health every time you get a kill. Now as you see, we actually have very good stats on this as well. 20% pistol damage. It's going to help out a lot with our Unforgiven, do even more damage, so we can one-shot most enemies in the game. Then we have 25% actual cooldown rate, which is very good. It's going to pair well with our Phaseslam. And then we have 50% magazine size, which is just generally a good stat to have on all your weapons. Now, speaking of other weapons, I'm not going to go over every single one of them, but we have some weapons over here. They all have Phaseslam anoints if you like to try them out. Things like the Maggie can be very good, and if you want to try something like the Love Drill to replace the Unforgiven, that can be done too. But personally, I just like to use the Unforgiven. It's just a simple, just easy one shot, and it's very fun to use. Now, I will say real quick before we get into the skills, a thing, like I said in my last video, is definitely shade the Unforgiven. I know it sounds like a very weird thing to say in a build video, but as you see the reticle right here, you can see that it has like a red accent, then it has gray over here. You can essentially do it with whatever color you want. I just like this one. This is going to let you easily see your target, and you can just line up the red thing on top of the person's head. It makes it a whole lot easier for me, and I just like it like that. But now, getting into the skills, we're going to be going down Brawl and Mystical Assault and a little Fist of Elements. Now, starting in Brawl, we're going to be putting 3 points in personal space to get 36% bonus damage the closer we are to an enemy. We're essentially going to use this build up and close, so this is going to always be procky and always going to do a lot more damage. Now we have 5 points in Clarity, which is getting buffed to 7 with our class mod to give us 7% of our missing health generated, and then that doubles every time we use our action skill, which is going to be Phaseslam. Then we have 5 points in Help Hands. Every time we use action skill, we're getting 40% damage reduction. Then 3 points of Samsara to get 5% gun damage and 5% of our max health generated every Samsara stack, and this procs 5 times, and it's very easy to hit 5 people with the Phaseslam. So the way you want to be playing this is just keep Phaselamming and keep getting your Samsara procs to get more damage, to get a lot of health generation. Then Clarity is also going to be giving you health generation and to get the damage reduction Helping Hands. Now, for the health generation, we're going to be putting 5 points in Root Rise to get more max health, so we can regenerate more health, which is very, very good. And finally, we'll put 5 points in One with Nature to get 25% more max health on top of that, and 40% elemental damage reduction based on whatever action skill element we're using. And I'm going to be putting in Corrosive, so we're getting 40% corrosive resistance and 100% shock resistance with something like the Transformer Shield. Now, getting into Mystical Assault, I'm putting 3 points in Fast Hands to get 19% more reload speed, 36% more weapon top speed, and 36% mode switch speed. Now, the mode switch speed does not matter whatsoever, or unless you have a gun that has a Phaseslam anoint and has a mode switch on it. If you want to use that, go right ahead. As for this right here, it doesn't really matter. Now, I have 1 point Do Harm or 1 point Violent Tapestry. This is going to let you get your rush stacks. These, you're not really using anything for action skill damage or elemental effect chance. You just want to use it to get down to the bottom, and it's going to give you more rush stacks. Now, I have 5 points of Restless to get 25% more cooldown rate. This is going to help out with the cooldown reduction of Phaseslam. You definitely want to have your Phaseslam up as much as possible so you can keep proccing your anoints and you can keep proccing things like Samsara. Now I have 3 points in Transcendence. So every time I pop an action skill, we're in 38% accuracy and 27% critical hit damage. This is going to give us more critical hit damage based on every other critical hit damage effect we already have. Plus the accuracy is going to be very good for the Unforgiven, so you can easily hit your shot. Then we have 5 points in Alacrity to get 2% reload speed per rush stack and 2.9% after we use our action skill. So this is going to help out with your DPS. You can reload your guns really quick, and it's going to cut down all the downtime of how much reloading can take. Next, we're putting 1 point in Ascendant to basically buff our action skill augments. We're going to be using Soul Sap with Phaseslam so we can get health back that way. We run in Phaseslam, we're going to heal with Soul Sap and Samsara and Clarity, and plus we get damage reduction with Helping Hands. And next, I'm putting 3 points Lay Bare to debuff our enemies by 25% whenever we hit them with an action skill. So obviously with Phaseslam, you're going to run in, hit a lot of people, and now you have Lay Bare on all those, and you're doing 25% more damage. And not just you, if you're playing with friends, they're also doing 25% more damage. Then 3 points of Raz get 20% more gun damage, and then 20% more after using an action skill. As you see, all these after action skills are just insane, and popping one Phaseslam gets you insanely powerful, and it is very, very fun. And finally, for this goes for 1 point Avatar, so we can pop action skill twice before cooldown, and we get 10 additional rush stacks. This is very, very good for the damage and the cooldown rate. And obviously, since we're having a lot of cooldown rate, and you can still pop your action skill twice while it's on cooldown. Avatar is one of Amar's best skills in the game, and the amount of benefits it gives is actually crazy. And finally, I have 3 points left, so I'm just putting 3 points in Steady Hands to buff our handling by 32%, our accuracy by 31%. This is very, very good for the Unforgiven. Obviously, you're getting more accuracy, so you can hit the shot. Plus, the handling is very good for things like shotguns and SMGs. So that is the build. I'm essentially just going to go over really quick how everything synergizes. if you would like to know more about that. This is essentially going to work as you run in with Phaseslam. You go to Phaseslam. This is going to proc your clarity to give you a lot more health regeneration. So when you hit people, you're going to get Samsara stacks. And also when you hit people, you're applying late bear debuffs to get a 25% increase to damage. Now, since you use your action skill, you're also getting helping hands to give you more damage reduction. You're getting more damage right here with Wrath, more reload speed, more critical hit damage and accuracy right here. And all that working together, you still have a thing where you can proc it twice with Avatar. And then since you're using Phaseslam, all the anoints you have over here getting proc Phaseslam anoints, plus your action skill in anoints right here too, and your shields and grenades. And with everything combined, it's just you Phaseslam and you get all these buffs, and you can straight up just one shot almost every enemy in the game with Unforgiven. And then for bossing, you have things like the hyper focus. You just straight up shred bosses, and it is very, very fun. So that is it for the build. If you're just looking for a build to be different than most of the normal builds that Amara has right now, this is definitely the one for you. Or if you're just a fan of Phaseslam and you just like feeling like a Titan from Destiny, this is also very good for you. Now, don't expect your Phaseslam to be doing an insane amount of damage. It can do a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. This is essentially just all around using your Phaseslam to proc all your skills, all your anoints, and being able to one-shot almost every single enemy in the game. For ad clear for this build, you're really relying on Unforgiven and being accurate. This is a very skillful build, I would say. You have to be accurate in hitting your crits, and you're going to be able to destroy a lot of things. Now, if you want to replace and use something like a Brainstorm with the Phaseslam anoint, that would also work. If you want to make ad clear a little easier, you're definitely better off using the Unforgiven to one-shot everything and just being very accurate, because you kill everything insanely quick, and also the bullets can ricochet and hit people and do a lot of damage too. Now, this build will be viable in Mayhem 2.0 if you're trying to find a build for that. Personally, I don't think this is going to be the best build. My Hyperion Cat SMG Amar build is definitely the build I'm going to be taking into Mayhem 2.0, but this build will hold up, and I definitely expect to see an updated build video of this when we get to Mayhem 10 and we learn about everything new that's in the game. So overall, this build is one of Amar's best builds, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone that wants to try out something different. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this build is located in my Discord channel if you would like to download it. It is located under the Saves Files tab. My other build is going to be there as well if you'd like to check any of those out. So if you download the build, enjoyed the video, or found it helpful in any way, remember, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and I truly appreciate it. We are still on the grind at 2,000. We are approaching 1,800 subs right now as it is, and I truly thank you guys so much for all the support. It has been mind-blowing. So if you made this far in the video, I really appreciate you. I expect to see some Mayhem 2.0 videos coming out tomorrow, and especially in the future. We're definitely going to be updating all our builds to fight Mayhem 10, and I want to explore all the new legendaries we're getting. Now, on top of Mayhem 2.0, the new event is coming out tomorrow too, which is supposed to be bringing you anoints, so expect to see videos on that as well. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.